Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about things that school don't teach you. What school don't teach you, and 6 things you need to learn to navigate life better that you might not learn in school. So one of the first things that you need to learn that you probably would not learn in school is personal finances. You need to know how to manage your money, and you need to meet your personal financial goals. Or if you don't have these goals, you need to create financial goals. You need to become financially literate. You need to know about savings. You need to know about budgeting, banking, insurance, investing, mortgages, loans, retirement planning, tax, and estate planning. You need to have an idea about all of these. I could give you some tips right now, and the first thing I could tell you to do is to create a budget. You need to live in your means, and you need to save enough money to meet your long-term goals. You need to create a plan of how you're going to spend your money. Right? Maybe you could get a personal budgeting app to help you. Right? So you're going to take these points depending on your age and depending on the stage or where you're at in life. So if you are working, you should have a budget. Next thing you need to do is to create an emergency fund. Create an emergency fund. Sometimes we have unexpected expenses. Sometimes we get sick, we have medical bills. Sometimes we might need to repair our car, we need to repair something in our house. Maybe electrical appliances go bad, you need to buy a new one. There's sometimes day-to-day expenses, unexpected things happen, maybe you get fired and all of these things. So you need to create an emergency fund. You need to have at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up, right? Next thing you should do, that you need to do, is to work on a retirement plan, because you will need money when you stop working. Next advice when it comes to personal finances is to limit debt and write down all your debts and pay off all students' loan. Next thing about finances is to use credit cards wisely. Get to know about credit cards. Get to know if you could manage a credit card or not. If you have one, you pay off all your full balances every month, and you always pay your bills on time. The next thing we need to do is to learn to live below our means. Our means, sometimes our salary is very limited, and we probably have high debt, and you should not be upgrading to a brand new car or going out to eat every day or getting an expensive apartment or going on expensive vacations if you have debt and if your salary is limited. Right? You should not be trying to keep up with your friends overspending on things that you don't need, trying to keep up with appearances when you know your salary is limited and you have debt to pay off and you probably have student loan. Right? Next thing you need to remember is to apply for health insurance. Sometimes as a young adult we may forget about this. Just reminding you to apply for health insurance. Next thing we could do is to save to achieve our financial goals, and one of the ways we can do that is to use the 50-30-20 rule. When you spend 50% of your income on needs, and you spend 30% of your income on wants, and you spend 20%, the 20% remaining you would save that. So you could try to use the 50-30-20 rule. And if it's hard to save, you can give a standing instruction to your bank to deduct a fixed amount from your primary savings account and to deposit it into a fixed account for you. Right? So the second thing that you need to learn that school might not teach you is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand emotions, your emotions, other people's emotions, to manage your emotion in a positive way, to relieve stress and frustration, to communicate effectively also to empathize with others, to overcome challenges, and to resolve conflict. That is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence helps you to build stronger and more fulfilling relationships. It will help you to succeed in school, at work, achieve your goals in your career and your personal life. Emotional intelligence is commonly defined in 4 attributes. First one is self-management. Second one is self-awareness. And the third one is social awareness. And the fourth one is relationship management. So it's commonly defined in those 4 attributes. And the first one, self-management, deals with being able to control impulsive feelings and behaviors, being able to manage your emotions in a healthy way, to take initiative, to follow through on all your commitments, and to adapt to changing circumstances at school and at your work and at home, any environment or social environment. The next thing emotional intelligence is made up of is self-awareness. You need to recognize your own emotions, how your emotions affect your thoughts and your behavior. You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and you need to have confidence in yourself. The third thing is social awareness. Social awareness deals with having empathy and having sympathy for others. You understand emotions, you understand needs and concerns of others. You know how to pick up on emotional cues, you read body language, you feel comfortable socially, and you could recognize the power dynamics in different group situations or organizations. And the fourth thing emotional intelligence is made up of is relationship management. Knowing how to develop and maintain good relationships, knowing how to communicate clearly, to inspire and to influence others, and to work well as a team, and to manage conflict. So emotional intelligence you need to learn. You might not learn these things in school, right? Next thing you need to learn that you probably would not learn in school is communication skills and how to have relationships. We need communication skills for our everyday life. We communicate with our parents, our teachers, our classmates, strangers, friends, colleagues, your employer, your boss. There's child and parent communication, there's romantic relationships, there's dating, and there's marriage, and we all need to communicate in all of these settings. And communication is how we pass information from one person to the other, and also how we receive and how we interpret what is being said to us. So this could be verbal or speech, this could be non-verbal with body language, eye contact, or posture, or pitch of voice, or tone of voice. Communication could be written, pen and paper, or printed documents, or when we email our colleagues, or when we text, when we apply for a job and we write letters, we are communicating in a written way. And visually, when we present graphs, we present charts or maps. Alright, so communication skills, we need it for everyday life. We need oral communication skills. We need to know how to speak clearly and consciously without having too much misunderstanding and misinterpretations. We need to know how to write clearly. We need written communication skills. We need to write emails to our colleagues. We need to write reports to our boss. We need to communicate with customers via email. We need to apply for jobs. We need to write letters. So you need written communication skills. You need presentation skills also to present your ideas, to present your intentions, to present yourself at a job interview, right? We also need active listening skills, where we remove all distractions and we ask clarifying questions. We pay close attention to the person who is speaking to us, and we are fully engaged in what they are saying. We clarify by rephrasing what they're saying, by asking questions, so we can have a greater understanding of what they're actually saying to us. We also need to work on nonverbal communication. Our body language, our posture, our gestures, our eye contact, our pitch of voice, our tone of voice. Sometimes we are not aware of our tone of voice. Facial expressions also, sometimes we are not fully aware of our facial expressions when we are receiving information or talking to others, right? We need to understand facial expression of others and ourselves, so we can have a better understanding. We can feel and understand what the person really mean when we look at their body language and we look at their facial expression, right? And when you are talking, you could maintain a relaxed body stance, and you try not to sound too demanding, you try not to sound too aggressive, so you watch your tone of voice and your pitch, right? And when we have effective communication skills, it could benefit us at work. For example, you would be more productive. It would have more productivity in your workplace. It would have a higher employee satisfaction. People will be more satisfied with the work they're doing, right? There will be greater trust in your boss, in the management. When you have good communication going on at work, there will be better teamwork. There will be people will be more engaged into doing projects, creating new ideas, and to just fulfilling their work. People will be more engaged into working when we have good effective communication and good communication skills at our jobs, right? Poor communication at work leads to misunderstanding, it leads to frustration, it leads to stress, it leads to conflict, it leads to burnout and feeling unsatisfied and disrespectful when there's not effective communication, right? Also, having good communication skills, knowing how to communicate and manage relationships, can also benefit you while you're dating or in a romantic relationship, right? Or maybe you're in a marriage. So you also need to learn about dating. You need to know how to date, and you need to learn how to be in a romantic relationship and a marriage if that is important to you. And when you have effective communication, it helps to strengthen the respect for each other in that relationship. It helps to avoid misunderstandings and conflict and unnecessary breaking up and arguments. It helps to build trust. When you communicate effectively and you communicate clearly, it helps to build trust in the relationship. It helps to grow the bond, and you develop more love between you and your partner. It sets a mood for happiness and trust and security when you communicate effectively, precisely, and you are clear, and you can realize that you are on the same page, right? So the next thing that you need to learn that school might not teach you is self-care. You need to take care of yourself physically, mentally, financially, intellectually, socially, environmentally, occupationally, and spiritually. You need to take care of your mental health. You need to know when you are getting close to burnout. If you need to know about anxiety, you need to know about depression, you need to know about resentment in relationships, you need to know about stress and frustration and anger, and how to manage these in order for you to not develop any mental illness. You also need to take care of yourself environmentally. Sometimes you just need to take a walk, get some fresh air, enjoy the sun, or enjoy the night sky. You need to avoid littering. You need to clean your home. Maybe you need to redesign a room. Maybe you need to renovate your house. Maybe you need to change where you live, right? Your environment is very important to you. You also need to take care of yourself financially. We need to have a financial plan. As I was saying, with the personal finances, we need to learn about personal finances. You will not be taught. Learning how to ask for a raise. Maybe you might need to avoid credit cards if you cannot manage. Learn about credit cards. Learn about budgeting and saving and all of these things. You will not be learning this in school unless maybe you are doing economics or some sort, right? You need to take care of yourself intellectually. You need to read often. You need to complete the program that you need to in accordance with what you are interested in or your job. You need to graduate from school. You need to graduate from university. You need to watch documentaries. You need to become curious about life, about yourself. You need to try something new. You need to basically engage in long-term learning. We need to take care of ourselves occupationally. As I was saying, you need to graduate. You need to get your degree. You need to train for the promotion you want. You need to accept the promotion with confidence and believe in yourself that you are able to manage your whatever job that you aspire for, that you want, that you dream of. You need to accept that promotion and not be afraid and believe in your talents and your capabilities. You need to put together your resume. You need to apply for the job you want. You need to own your own business if that is something important to you, and that is taking care of yourself occupationally. We also need to take care of ourselves physically. We need to work out daily. We need to take a walk sometimes. We need to eat healthy. We need to do our annual checkups. We need to see the dentist. We need to take our medication. We need to avoid drugs and alcohol abuse. We need to get enough rest. We need to take care of our hygiene. We need to take care of our hair. We need to take care of our skin and all of that. We also need to take care of ourselves socially. Sometimes we need to meet up with our friends. We need to have family time. We need to go out and have fun sometimes. We need to engage in healthy social media. Very important in these times. We need to also keep in contact when distance is a factor in our life. When our friends or partner may be far away, we need to keep in contact. We also need to take care of ourselves spiritually. We need to meditate. We need to pray. We need to be mindful of our emotions, of our thoughts. We need to reflect on our mistakes. We need to reflect on our life. We might need to engage in yoga. We need to make the right decisions for our life. We need to consider our higher purpose in life. We need to know the meaning of life. We need to find our passion. We need to become basically the best version of ourselves. Right? So that's self-care. It's a lot, but it's necessary, and you need to learn all of these. Right? The next thing that school don't teach you, might not really get to teach you fully, is soft skills or people skills, or basically emotional intelligence. That is what we were talking about before, right? Soft skills are personal attributes that enable you to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. So soft skills are like character traits or personality traits. Some people call them interpersonal skills that support situational awareness and enhances your ability to get the job done. Right? That's soft skills. And I'm going to call out about 45 soft skills to you. Right? These are some interpersonal skills or character traits that you might need to work on. Right? So, empathy, time management, etiquette awareness, presentation skills, networking, resilience, customer service, working under pressure, taking initiative, conflict resolution, teamwork, accepting and implementing feedback, negotiation, leadership skills, self-direction, problem solving, interpersonal skills, project management, resourcefulness, work ethic, decision making, collaboration, emotional intelligence, learnability, communication skills, stress management, social skills, risk management, public speaking, self-motivation, active listening, persuasion, drive, delegation, dependability, creativity, integrity, punctuality, critical thinking, adaptability, research skills, time management, accountability, positive attitude, and troubleshooting. So those are 45 soft skills. You should work on all of them, but according to your job and what you are interested in and your passion, you can select a few and start to work on them. You might not learn these skills in school. Maybe sometimes your teacher might try to make you learn them, but it's very limited time in school to learn all of these soft skills, these interpersonal skills. It's very important, right? Soft skills is very important because in modern day workplaces, employees demand soft skills more and more. They want to know that you can actively listen. They want to know that you can collaborate, that you can present ideas, that you can take initiative, that they don't have to tell you what to do every day, that you can meet the deadline, right? Modern day workplaces value soft skills a lot more and more than before. Strong soft skills ensure productivity, and it ensure progress and success in the organization or wherever you are working. Company would have a healthy work environment when there's a lot of soft skills, when people have developed their soft skills. Also, customers and clients, they demand you to have soft skills. Like customers have a lot of a huge number of choices they could purchase at any place. But if sometimes they know that this particular business treats them well in terms of the communication and the service, the customer service, they are going to choose that company to do business with, right? Soft skills also indicates longevity to your employer, to your boss, that you are able to stay there long term, right? When you show that you are capable of learning and of growing, it indicates that you would be a good employee to stay there long term, right? Having the ability to resolve conflict, to stay committed, to be motivated, self-motivated, make you a long-term asset for employers, for any company or organization, right? Soft skills are important because it measures teamwork. How well can you work with a team? Employers want to know that you can fit in a group dynamic. They like to see teamwork. They like to see good communication skills. Regardless of your technical skills and how well you can do something, you need to be a team player in order to use your soft skills effectively. You need to know how to adapt, to be flexible, to listen actively, to delegate, to lead, right? Employers like when you can fit in to the group and you work as a team and you have good communication skills and you can collaborate. Employers also seek out employees who they can trust to represent their company in a professional way, in a friendly way. People with good disposition for customer service are good for business in any industry at any level. No matter your level, no matter how much experience you have, if you're not friendly to customers, if you're not professional, employers do not want you. They want somebody who they could trust and who can represent their company, who can represent their service and their organization, right? Soft skills also facilitates growth within you and within the business or the company. Employers, they want to hire people who can take criticism well, who is always looking for ways to improve themselves, and they don't want to have employees who they need to tell to do. They need to tell them to do something every day. They need to give them instructions every day. They need to tell them what to do every day. They like when you take criticism well and you understand and you improve yourself, and you have learnability and you have resilience and you take initiative and you just have a positive attitude. That is what employers like. That is what your boss would like, right? Employers hire and promote people who regularly demonstrate that they have self-motivation and they have initiative. Having a positive attitude and being creative is really good in your job. It shows that you can think of new projects and you can solve problems and you can meet deadlines and you can get the job done. Soft skills help you to follow through on your ideas. Using motivation to translate brainstorming sessions into actionable projects, right? So that you have a plan, so that you can grow, so that you can inspire others with your focus and with your drive. Show that you can make things happen, that you can create a project and you fulfill this project, right? Soft skills also can contribute to the employer's reputation, or the organization or the company reputation will be good. The way that the employee interact with the clients, interact with the customers, interact with business partners can really influence how people perceive the company within that community. When you are polite and you have manners and you have etiquette awareness, it would be positive towards that company. Customers would look at a company in a positive way, right? Soft skills also help you to accelerate your career progression and to get promoted faster. It sets you apart from others. There are people in jobs, they are there 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, they are there, right? They have a lot of experience, but if they lack soft skills, they are going to lose. They are not going to be promoted. So if you are young, you need to work on your soft skills. It doesn't matter how long this person was there. If they don't have soft skills, they're not going to be promoted and they're not going to have progression in their career. If you are young and you go into a job, you need to show that you are a leader, that you can work as a team, that you can resolve conflict, that you can take initiative, that you can meet the deadline, that you can work under pressure, that you can manage your time well, that you can manage stress, that you can especially take initiative and be willing to learn, willing to accept criticism. And from there, you will progress and you would not need a decade of experience to be promoted. Once you have soft skills, sometimes you do not need to be extremely technical. If you have really good soft skills, you will be promoted and you will progress in your career more than people who are very technical and maybe, more intelligent academically, right? So, another thing you need to learn about that school will not teach you is the importance of mental health. Mental health includes your emotional, your psychological, your social well-being. It affects how you think, how you act, the decisions you make, what you say, how you handle stress, how you relate to others. Mental health affects almost everything. Mental health is important in your childhood, in adolescence, and in adulthood. Sometimes it's in our genes, but other times it's because of life experiences that created trauma, and we were abused when we were young, or we have a history of mental problems in our family and all of these things, and we are affected mentally. Mental health impacts how you sleep, and it impacts your physical well-being also, right? So what I'm going to do right now is just list out some popular mental health conditions that I see happening in society. Most popular mental health conditions that I believe that you need to know a little bit about, you need to research on these mental health conditions so you can have an idea of if it's affecting you or if it's affecting someone else, to prevent it from getting severe. So you need to know about anxiety, depression, panic disorder, post-traumatic stress, obsessive compulsive disorder, eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, binge eating, bipolar affective disorder, schizophrenia, phobias, and substance abuse. I believe that you should take a look at these mental disorders to ensure that it's not affecting you. Maybe you could be having all the signs of one of these, and if you learn about the problem, you can avoid it from getting worse, right? And things we could do to help to stay healthy mentally is, especially if it's severe, you need to seek therapy. You need to go to a counselor. You need to get a therapist, right? If you have been abused as a child, verbally abused, physically abused, sexually abused, you witness violence, or emotionally neglected, and it's severe, you need to go to therapy. You might also need to learn about journaling. You need to learn about meditation, how to meditate, exercise, yoga. All of these things can help us with our mental health, right? What causes mental illness? Well, traumatic events in our life, right? Our family have a history of mental health issues. As I said, maybe you were abused as a child. Maybe sometimes you are diagnosed with a really serious condition like cancer or diabetes, and it affects your mental health. Maybe you are young, whether it's maybe in adolescence or in adulthood, you are abusing alcohol and drugs, and these alcohol and drugs affect your brain. Sometimes people, they have mental problems and they use alcohol and drugs to self-medicate, and then the symptoms of the mental health problem could get worse, and sometimes they get new symptoms, right? So you really make it worse if you already have mental health problems and you are abusing alcohol or drugs, right? Sometimes loneliness and isolation also can affect your mental health, create mental illness. So this is just like a brief, it's like an overview of things that you need to learn that school is not teaching you, and you actually need them to have a better life and to navigate life in the best way possible, to avoid, not necessarily avoid, but to lower suffering and difficulties that are going to come up in your life, right? So that's 6 things that school is not going to teach you that you need to learn for yourself. Yes, sometimes school can teach us a few things here and there, but it's not enough for you to actually learn and to navigate life in a better way, right? So you need to learn about you need to learn about personal finances, you need to learn about how to be in relationships, you need to learn about how to take care of yourself, right? You need to learn about communication skills and mental health, right? So It's a lot. You need to just try to select the ones that are most important to you according to where you at in your life, and start to work on these. Right, so those are 6 things that you need to learn on your own, or you ask for help from an adult or anybody who is experienced in finances or whatever. Right, so those are the 6 things that you need to learn that school is not going to teach you, and they are very important to help you to navigate life in a better way. So that's all I have, and see you in the next video.